Hello, class. So today, let's continue our discussion about poetry. This time, we're going to talk about the types of poems and some sound devices. Okay, so the first type that we have here is the shape or concrete poem. So this kind of poem develops the physical form of the words on paper, just like you see here in the example. So if your poem is entitled as Star, your poem should look like a star. Like this one. Starlight, star bright, start shining in the dark of night over a cavern deep and dark. Inside the cave a babe is born, who shall die on the cross. But do not mourn, for he is the one to save our race, for we have fallen from grace, and so on. So, yeah, that is a shape or concrete poem. Next is we have the acrostic poem. So a poem in which the first letters of each line spell out a word or phrase vertically. So like in this example, we have the word monsters. So all of or the lines of the poem should start, okay, should start yeah, from when we spell out the word monsters. So the letters should be the beginning of the line of each poem. Next is we have the ABC poem. So ABC poem or each line in an ABC poem begins with the letters of the alphabet. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on until how long your poem is. Yes, so in this for this example, we have although the things are not perfect because of trial or pain, continue in thanksgiving, do not begin to blame. Even when the times are hard, fierce winds are bound to blow. Yeah, so this is an example of an ABC poems. Basically, it's about random things. So, yeah, but your lines should start with the alphabet letters, the letters of the alphabet. Next is we have the autobiographical poem. So this is a poem written about oneself, so often called as autobiopoems. So this is a poem that you write for yourself to describe yourself. So the title usually is your name, like this one. So Colleen, friendly, thoughtful, diligent, silly, daughter of Amy and Steve, lover of Labrador puppies, lemonade and the beach, and so on. All right. Next is the cinquain poem. If you can still remember, so cinquain is a five-line stanza poem. So we also have the cinquain poem. So a cinquain poem is a syllabic verse of form. So gradually increasing a number of syllables in each line until the last line, which returns to two syllables. So this is a popular poem for kids because it's easy to make. So, what's the structure of sequence poem? So for line one, it is usually composed of two syllables. So this is one word or the giving title. So usually the noun. So for example, in this poem we have flowers. The second line is consists of four syllables, two words that describe the title or the adjectives. So for the flowers, we have colorful and fragrant. And for line three, usually is six syllables. So three words that express action. So these are actually verbs which ends in ing. So let's take a look in our example. We have swaying, growing, blooming. And the fourth line usually has eight syllables. So four words that express feeling or describe more. But sometimes it's okay if it's not eight syllables as long as it's four words, consist of four words. For example, make me feel happy. So yes. And the last line, one word that gives the title a different name. So, which is like a synonym of the title of the first word. So we have blossoms. So yeah, this is how a cinquain poem looks like. Next is we have diamante. Yeah, from the word itself, diamante. So this is diamond. Okay, so it is an unrhymed seven-line poem in a diamond shape. The first and the last lines are shortest. For example, we have here spring, lovely, bright, living, breathing, flowering, crocus blooms, tulips, raindrops, sun, breezing, warming, blooming, vibrant, colorful season. Yeah, so this is a diamante poem. As long as it's a form of diamond with seven lines. And we have the haiku. It is a poem that's usually about nature or the seasons, with three unrhymed lines containing five, seven, and five syllables. For example, spring is really here. Spring is really here. That's five syllables. Flowers are starting to bloom. Flowers are starting to bloom. That's seven syllables. And sunshine fills the air. Sunshine fills the air, which has five syllables. So this is haiku. So haiku poem is actually a kind of Japanese poem with five syllables. But we also use this in English poems, especially for kids. So we also have here Limerick. So I'm sure you're familiar with Limerick, right? Because I think we discussed this in a previous lesson. By the way, so it's a humorous five-line poem with an AABBA rhyme scheme. So for example, Little Miss Muffet. So Little Miss Muffet sat on a toffee, eating her curds and whey. Okay, so that's AA. Along came a spider who sat down beside her. That's BB and frightened Miss Moffat away. So that's A again. So this is a limerick. Now let's proceed to the sound devices. Okay, so first one is we have the onomatopoeia. So I'm sure you're familiar with onomatopoeia. So this is a literary device where words mimic the actual sounds we hear. So yeah, the sounds are used in the poem. For example, splish, splash. So what can you imagine when you hear the word splish, splash? Yeah, exactly. It's water, right? So the drip, drop of the rain, it's time to run, a big jump. Splish splash goes the puddle, squeal, and the child giggles happily. So we have the word splish splash to help us imagine the sound of the water when we step on it. So another examples of an onomatopoeia are bang, whoosh, okay, um, yeah, what else? Even animal sounds are also examples of onomatopoeia. Next is we have alliteration. This is the repetition of usually initial consonant sounds into or more neighboring words or syllables. So you can see this usually in a tongue twister actually. Right? So again is the repetition of the initial consonant sounds. Okay? For example, the pirate's parrot. So we have the P. Okay, the initial consonant P, pirate's parrot. I am the pirate's parrot. I sail the seven seas and sleep inside the crow's nest. Don't look for me in trees. So for the first line, we have the consonant P, and the consonant S in the second line. So I am the pirate's parrot, a bird both brave and bold. I guard the captain's treasure and and count his hoard of gold. So yes, these are the repetition or the repetitive sounds in these lines. So this is alliteration. Again, this is the repetition of initial consonant sounds, which are close together. So usually in a single line. All right, so we have now assonance. Okay, so assonance is the repetition of long or short vowel sounds. So this time it's still repetition, but instead of consonants, we have the vowel sounds. So again, they are usually close together. So for example, in this poem, Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously, for nobody's toes are poses of roses, as Moses supposes his toes to be. So, as you can see, what's the vowel sounds being repeated? Exactly. So that's the vowel sound O. So this is assonance. Okay, and the last one. So we have consonants. So consonants is still the repetition, but it is, yeah, the repetition of mostly inner and ending consonant sounds that are close together. So, for example, in this poem, Old Man Pelican. Here is old Mr. Pelican. He is a famous fisherman. Said he, I do not mind wet feet if I catch fish enough to eat. So, the repetition consonant sounds are in the middle of the words. Okay, so in alliteration, the repetition of the consonant sounds is in the beginning of the word, right? But here in consonants, it is usually in the center or inner, okay? Yeah, inner part of the word. Like, for example, the word old, we have the letter L, and Mr. Pelican, the sound is in the center of the word or in the middle of the word, pelican. And for the word famous, we have the sound and the fisherman sound. So this is consonants. Again, guys, these sound devices are very helpful to produce a good rhythm of the poem, and kids will really like it, and it's very interesting because, yeah, they will enjoy listening to it and reciting it if there is a pattern or a memorable rhythm for them. So yeah, I think that's all for this part. So let me know if you have questions.